atmosphere combine with rain, they form acid rain. So those are the causes of air pollution. We were just reminding ourselves. Today, I want us to look at something else. Now that you have seen the causes of air pollution, what do you think are the effects of air pollution? Now, the effects of air pollution, we shall look at it in three aspects. One is that we shall look at the effects of air pollution on animals, two, on plants, and three, on non-living things. Remember that when I talk of animals, I'm also including human beings. Henry, are you an animal? I hope you have said yes, because if you say no, you are a living thing, and a living thing can only be an animal or a plant. So we are all animals. So when you look at air pollution on living things, when you look at air pollution on animals, now air pollution on animals, the effects on animals, effects of air pollution on animals. So how are animals affected by air pollution? And when you talk of animals, let's include human beings. One of the effects is diseases. And here we are talking about respiratory diseases. They affect the breathing system. Respiratory diseases, they include things that can cause irritation to your breathing system. When you enter into a smoky house, you realize that sometimes you sneeze, you cough. That's because there's some irritation in your respiratory system. They also cause allergies. Most of the times that I have had somebody say, I have an allergy to dust, I have an allergy to smoke, I have an allergy to paints. That is when they get in through the nose, they cause some irritation, and maybe you start sneezing. Others will start having watery eyes. So that's what we are calling an allergy. The other effect is when we have acid rain. The acid rain affects the water that we take. And in that case, when the water is affected and then we take the water, it means that we shall have some deposits of some unwanted minerals in our body. So the water acid rain affects the water we drink, the water that we drink. And this one may be harmful to animals and human beings included. So those are the effects of air pollution. And as I said as we began, it is important that as you're looking at these effects, look at the causes in the environment, the causes in the surrounding, those that are near where you are. Look at the effect of smoke. Look at the effect of paints when your house has been painted. Look at the effect of dust. What happens when dust gets into your nose? Those are the effects that we are talking about. And I also want us to go to effects of air pollution on plants. Plants are also living things. How does air pollution affect plants? I want to start with the first one, is that dust will hinder photosynthesis. For plants to undertake photosynthesis, they use the leaves. So when the leaves are covered with dust, photosynthesis will be affected because the stomata will be blocked. This may even cause suffocation. Suffocation, because the stomata are blocked and the breathing of the plant may not take place. Remember that the stomata in plants, they help in breathing, they help in transpiration. Once breathing has taken place, then photosynthesis can also take place. Hope you are with us, Chelsea. The other effect is of acid rain. The acid rain that is caused by sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide, the acid rain may scorch or burn the leaves of plants. Acid rain will scorch or burn the leaves of plants. This, in return, makes productivity of the plant low. Because if the leaves are burnt, that means that photosynthesis will not take place as usual, and that means that the plant production will be very low. At number 3, when acid rain reaches the soil, when it goes into the soil, it makes the soil acidic. And in that case, the acidity of the soil may kill the living organisms in the soil. The acidity of the soil may destroy the mineral content in the soil. And therefore, the acid rain, it reduces soil fertility. The plants growing in this soil may not be as productive as it is supposed to be. Remember, a fertile soil should have humus, air, water, some living organisms, and mineral salts in it. So if acid rain changes that content of the soil, then that means that it is no longer productive. The other effect is that, remember, the acid rain, as it changes the fertility, it will also burn the roots. The other effect, and the last effect that I'm talking about, when the acid rain goes into the oceans, several things will take place. One is that the acid rain will destroy the food for the animals in the water. That is, it will scorch the plants in the water. Once it scorches these plants in the water, remember that the animals and the plants in the water, they depend on each other. So one, the animals will be killed, and in turn, the humus that they give to the plants will also be destroyed. It will not be there. And therefore, acid rains, it destroys aquatic life. Aquatic life involves plants and animals in the water. So once again, I go back to the effects of air pollution to living things. Living things include animals and plants. In animals, where human beings are included, I've said that air pollution, when the air is polluted, there are diseases, and they are mostly respiratory. They affect the breathing system. It causes allergies like sneezing, coughing. It causes allergies like irritation of the eyes and breathing problems. Acid rain affects the water that we drink. Sometimes it makes us get unnecessary minerals. Also remember, and as we talk about the water we drink, when it is raining, like yesterday at night, there was some rain in some parts of Nairobi. If there was a container outside or just under the roofing sheets, if you observe the water that is in there, you realize that there's a lot of dust at the bottom. So if you take this water, that means that whatever you are taking is water that is has so much dust. And you even don't know whether what you are taking has even the mineral particles that are deposited. More especially in Nairobi, the water that we take in Nairobi that comes from the rain carries so many minerals. This is because of the industries that deposit sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide in the air. Remember what we have also talked about, the vehicles. The exhaust fumes, they contain sulfur. They also contain lead. I want us to look at the effects of air pollution on non-living things. Non-living things are things that are not alive. So what are these effects on non-living things? One is that acid rain corrodes roofing sheets. Acid rain corrodes roofing sheets. Roofing sheets are the ones that we use to roof our houses. In areas where there are so many industries, if the roofing sheets are not painted, they look as if they are rusty. They appear brownish. That brownish is not rust. It is that they are being burnt by the acid rain. They are corroding. These are what we call, the roofing sheets are what we call the corrugated roofing sheets. Acid rain, on the other hand, causes withering of rocks. Acid rain withers rocks. Withers rocks. This breaks down the rocks. The rocks are mineral in nature, and therefore, when the mineral content of the acid rain comes into contact with the rocks, it mixes with that acid and it eats up the rocks, and the rock withers down. Number 3 is that smoke or very thick smoke destroys rubber. It destroys rubber materials. For example, in the vehicles, as you close the vehicle doors, there's some rubber up there. You realize that most of the vehicles that have that are in areas where there is a lot of air pollution, the moisture that comes in there eats up that rubber. This because of the smog. The smoke is that thick smoke. And number 4 is that the smog and the smoke reduces visibility. Very thick smoke reduces visibility. It can easily cause even accidents on the road. If a vehicle passes you and it is producing a lot of smoke, you have to let it go fast because you cannot see clearly whatever is ahead of you. If a vehicle overtakes you and produces a lot of dust, you have to let it go, lest you find yourself with your vehicle in the bushes, since you cannot see very far ahead. And lastly, the dust particles on our clothes, in the house, they make surfaces look very untidy. Like for instance, when you open schools, the desks are always very dusty. If you make a mistake to sit on that desk, your clothes also get very dusty. So dust makes surfaces dirty. The dust makes surfaces dirty. So if you don't wipe the surfaces that have dust, your clothes get dirty. So if it makes the surfaces dirty, that means that it increases the work that you're supposed to do cleaning the surfaces. So dust making the surfaces dirty is an effect of air pollution, since this dust settles on that desk from the air. So now I hope you have learned about the effects of air pollution on living and non-living things. We have also known the pollutants and the causes of air pollution. In our next lesson, we are going to learn ways of controlling air pollution. And as I end, I want you to invite as many people as possible. And on top of that, do as many questions as possible so that as we start the lesson, I can be able to answer as many questions from you as possible. Remember that we are running this just as we run our lesson in class. We would like everyone to participate. The more friends you invite, the better they shall be. Let's ensure that we share this through Facebook. We share this by telling our friends to join, and we shall learn and learn more. So next time in our next lesson, we shall start by looking at the questions in one of the KCP past papers. Hope you shall be with us. So do as many questions as possible and enjoy your day ahead. Have a good time and goodbye.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, you're excused.
Can you repeat what you said about air pollution?
I repeat what I said about air pollution.
Yes.
The whole lesson.
That was not
Living.
There?
that was not there.
Oh, you are not there.
Yeah. Even me.
Started very, very
Even
far.
me.
Who else wasn't there?
Even
Who is even me?
Elena. Elena.
No, Elena. Elena. Now this is class 8 science.
Oh.
The previous lesson was class 6 maths. You missed the time, Elena, but I'll see how you get it. Okay, Elena? Yes, you can also ask your friends in the estate. We are looking at area of a triangle, but don't visit them. Okay? Yes, watu wakae nyumbani. At home,
Huko nyumbani.
Chawa uko nyumbani.
Huko nyumbani.
Yes.
Huko
Teacher,
nyumbani.
when is the next lesson?
The next lesson